Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z Super Saiyan Son Goku. The games begin. This is the new Goku, the super fancy 3.0, brand new everything's good about it Goku. I'm joking partly because we're still going to review it. This is arguably the best Goku they've released, we'll see, and probably my personal favorite. I'll put that out there right now, but as you guys know, even figures that are gush worthy don't only get gushed over. I'm going to do the review like I normally would. We're going to talk about the good and the bad, because yes, there is bad, and we're going to figure out how good is this figure actually, or is it all just hype? We're going to find out. So let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, now before we look at the figure, I do want to show you my package. It is a tried and true SH Figuarts Dragon Ball packaging. Adding this thing on the front, it's just so funny to me, because when they announced this figure, the whole figure, not just this part, they talked about a patent pending new shoulder articulation, and I just thought to myself, that seems odd. You don't really get patented articulation, and as far as I can tell, they didn't really do much here that's new. I mean, new for them. They've already done this. It's strange. And they put it right in the freaking middle. Why are you doing that? We already bought the figure. Stop advertising on the package. Right in the center of the figure. That's just a weird thing. That's a weird choice. Also, they decided to make this one in Vietnam, which is their new 3.0 super fancy nothing's wrong with it Goku, and they made it in the Vietnam factory, which is arguably less good than the Chinese factory. I don't tend to buy that as much as I used to, but I do think there maybe is some difference. Anyway, the packaging is fine, but this is weird, and this choice is super weird. There's his hand. The rest of this looks good, but there's his hand. No feet this time. And then the back still has tiny, tiny, tiny photos. Yeah, the Dragon Ball packaging is the least interesting out of all of the Bandai packaging, I think. Other than maybe the SS Kamen Rider, because they don't have that much on there. Okay, so this guy's not in stock right now. He actually sold out at Big Bad Toy Store, but I'll put a link down there just in case, because I'm guessing they end up with more. If you want to get one, I'll put the link. If you don't want to, then you don't click it. All right, he stands to the top of his head roughly like 5 3/8, and then including the hair, it's like 6 3/4. There's a lot of hair on here, so that's nice. About 13.7, let's say, and then almost 17. There is a lot of hair. You could always do more hair, and in fact, there is up against Darwin. In fact, all the new ones that they just showed off recently have a lot more hair, and it makes the figures look so much better, because in the show and in the manga, they have a lot of hair. Alright, question of the day. Which release for Goku is your favorite? Not based on character design, but which figure is your favorite from them? And I guess that may be heavily influenced by character design. For me, I think I probably have to go with the square hips version with no shirt on, but maybe, I mean, other than this one, then maybe this one. But this guy does have problems, guys. We have to talk about all of it, but let's talk about the aesthetic first. I love the silhouette. I think they did a much better job, even though his legs look a little skinny with the baggy pants. It still looks really, really good. The silhouette's nice. The upper body looks really good. I like the hair. I like the face. I like the arms, the shoulders. There's a lot to like here. I like the new hip setup. This new 3.0 with the soft crotch I generally do like. It's not without its drawbacks, though, which we'll talk about, but generally, I think sculpt-wise, this looks really, really nice. Now, as far as paint, we have an issue. What are they doing with their shading? Why does he only have orange, dark orange shading on his shins and thighs? Nothing on the back, nothing on the sides, nothing on the upper body, no shading anywhere except for right here. I don't think that looks good. Either put the shading on the figure or don't. Makes no sense. So that bothers me, especially for this new Super Goku that's never had a problem and will be the defining mold for the next 10 years. It's weird that they went out swinging but missing. It's just, there's no paint on the figure anywhere but right here and then like where it's absolutely necessary. So that's weird. The hair, there is some shading there, but it's subtle. I actually kind of like it. I don't know if I like it more than the old way because they didn't paint underneath. This color here is bare plastic. So they used to paint the hair entirely and had like a nice matte finish. This time they just painted the shading, and it has a different finish than the molded hair, so it does throw it off a little bit for those of you with a keen eye. If you don't care, then you won't care. But also the hair pieces don't fit as well as I would like. It's kind of frustrating getting them on, and they don't seat. They don't seat as well as you would want them to. So yeah, it's not a perfect figure. It's not super expensive, so It's not like the end of the world, but I'm guessing most people are saying it's the end of action figures because it's the best thing ever. And I have to be honest and tell you there are flaws, there are issues, but it does look good generally. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. It looks mostly really good, but the weird paint issues are definitely a problem. There's just no way around that. Also, they still are painting the chest. It doesn't match the PVC skin tones. It's not terrible, but you can see blue on the collarbone area. You can see that blue line in there, right? There's blue coming through, so that is definitely a thing. So yeah, it looks pretty good, but it certainly has still plenty of room for improvement. Also, mine's got smudges and marks all over it. His butt has a spot right here. The other hairpiece had all kinds of schmutz on it I had to scratch off. So yeah, it's just, so far it's good, but it's not like anything crazy impressive. Alright, as far as accessories go, we have 4 faces. I like them all. I think they look pretty good. We have the 2 hair pieces. Those look pretty good. Can't really complain about that. And we have a decent spread of hands. That's it. That's it. That's good enough, probably, but no effect part or anything, again. And a pretty paltry assortment compared to other releases. I get that he's not the most expensive one, so that's fine. But it's not impressive, so 7 out of 10. For Figuarts, 7 out of 10. We can't go... I guess you could go like 8 because he has 2 hairs, but since they're both yellow hairs and not a brown hair or a black hair, that's still a thing. All right, now for articulation, get ready to hold on to your butts because we are using the ball hinge again. I don't get it. I mean, I know technically why, but also this is the most infuriating thing. Trying to peg that ball into the back horizontally is a pain in the butt. The only real good way to do it is either to pull the face off or try to do it like this. You have to try to peg it straight down as much as you can, and it's definitely easier to pull the face off, but you end up doing this most of the time, and it's such a pain in the ass. And so you have to take the face off and then line everything up if you want to do this reliably. And even then it doesn't. Gosh, this is annoying. It's so frustrating to try to get the hairs to swap out. I'm not even playing it up. It's super irritating. There we go. Nope. I thought I had it. That's what she said. She didn't. I can't even get it to go on from the back. It's just really irritating. If you're going to make swappable pieces, they should be not an absolute nightmare to do. And this sucks. I got it. That sucks a lot. And then we still have the issues that you get for posing ball hinges in the neck. Yeah, the hair is screwed up, man. You still get the issues of posing the ball hinges. Now, some people would argue the ball hinge, the way it's set up, allows you to stretch his neck out a little bit. It's like, what for? If his neck is the right length in the first place, you don't have to do that. You don't need to turtle his head and stretch it out. It's almost none anyway. But yeah, you can still pose it, and the neck is actually one of the better necks they've done. But having the ball hinge on there makes it more annoying than it needs to be, especially when it comes to swapping out the parts. So do be aware of that. Now for their new patented shoulders, I'll show you. It's basically the same shoulders we've already seen that have these hinged cups down here, and then the same stuff at the top. I don't know what they're patenting, unless they're patenting it for all of them, or trying to. But yeah, it works just like a lot of the other shoulders, except we have the soft sleeves on top. So, I don't get it. It works nice. I'm not complaining about the shoulders. I like the shoulders. I just think it's weird that they're advertising the patent pending thing, or at least they were at one point. So that's just strange, but I do think they work nicely. They do raise up, and they're not super gappy or anything, so that's pretty good. You can bring them down, of course, and these parts are soft, loose pieces, so they can move around, but you do get your full rotation. Bringing it across the chest, not bad. It's not bad. It's not a bad setup. I just don't understand the whole patent pending thing. It's just strange. Yeah, it works pretty well. It's nothing crazy. I mean, there's still plenty of limitations to it, but that's fine. It's a good new shoulder. That's good. I like that. I don't know what the patent's for. Yeah, you can raise your arms up, no problem. Bicep swivel is fine. Double jointed elbow. Better than Piccolo, the recent Piccolo, or Nail. That's pretty good. That's better than 90, so that's all right. The wrists are on ball hinges. That's standard. These are separate pieces now, so that's better for paint. And now for the torso, because they've been screwing up torsos now for like a couple years. This is still not great, because his orange part doesn't cover very much, so you can see the guts inside. Now, luckily, they're orange also, but that kind of makes it look worse. You can see the mechanical parts inside, and there's just no chest there, so you want to tuck these in, and it's just a weird thing. They've been doing weird stuff with the chest, and if you think that's not that weird, well, just wait a second. Gosh, that's kind of annoying having to rotate these. Okay, so yeah, let me show you what they've done. You just have a ball socket right here, okay? That's this guy right here in the middle. This is a floating piece, but it's not just the belt. It has the orange piece on there too, which is painted. You don't see it that much. It doesn't match perfectly, but since you don't see it that much, it doesn't matter. But then they've done this, which is another ball down here inside the crotch. There's a ball. That's the socket that you can see. So you have your ball down there. You have a hinge and then another socket. Revoltech kind of did this before. It's not exactly the same thing, and decided it wasn't a good idea. It's not necessary, but watch what happens. It doesn't do what they want it to do. First of all, they did a decent job making this shirt look like it. I can't speak English. Making this shirt look like it tucks in. Okay, it doesn't. But it should. What they should have done is brought this torso piece down farther. You don't need this piece in here at all, this orange. But if you're going to do this, this orange piece needs to be taller. It needs to go up to hide the gaps, because look at the gaps. It can't go down any lower because it's connected to this piece, so the belt can't come down to hide this gap, and the orange doesn't go high enough to hide that gap. You can just not pose it as far, but that's the whole point of it, so it's just a weird thing. If the torso had longer plastic, or if the underneath piece had more plastic, it would have looked a lot better, but it doesn't. It does have good range, I'll give you that, but when you lean him forward, you can move this piece around, but it depends what you're doing. If you want him to lean all the way forward, it doesn't. You can lift it up, it doesn't cover. It's overly complex for no reason. You don't need that extra hinge in there. A double peg is sufficient. They made it more complex than they needed to. Leaning to the side is especially egregious. That's not good. You can't even tuck it in properly. It's just overly complex for no real reason. The orange not matching and having it connected is just weird. It's a very strange design. You can make it work, but you're gonna have to fiddle with it way more than you would otherwise have to. Oh, I forgot to mention, they did paint the belt, by the way. There's darker blue on the front than on the back. I'm not sure why. Alright, but we do have the soft crotch piece, which does let him kick high, so I do like that, and I do like these new crotches for the most part. He kicks pretty high. You can't bring the leg back too far, though, because of the butt. You can go out to the side a little bit, but the butt is there, so be aware of that. And then going out to the side this way, it's not the best we've seen. QC on mine is messed up. There's a big chunk of plastic missing there, so it looks pretty bad. You don't get full-on splits, but they go far enough, so it's okay. They are super loose, though. Not floppy, but pretty darn loose. And then you do get your thigh swivel, which is standard. For the knee, single jointed knee, it's not bad. I like this type of knee more than what they have done in the past. This part here should be rounded out so that it doesn't create a shelf. It would look so much better if this was flush. A smooth curve right there. But yeah, you get just better than 90, so it doesn't have the best range, but it looks much better. And then for the ankles, you get the ball peg. Hold on, we're going to come back to the shin. For the ankles, you get the ball peg, ball hinge combo, so you can bring his toe down, and that works pretty well. You still can't bring the foot up. There's no lifting the foot up anymore, so that sucks. It does make for a really nice ankle rocker, so that's a good thing. And then we have the toe hinge, which may very well be the absolute worst toe hinge Bandai has ever made. One, it's floppy. It's purely floppy. It has no retention really at all, and it's hideous. You can't tell at the bottom, but this is not the right way to do a toe hinge. Why does it do that? And it's just too floppy. It does not have any retention, so that sucks. But here's the thing. Here's the other thing, the shin. When you have a shin joint here, that is meant to enhance the knee bend. So when you bend the knee, it's a single jointed knee, not the best range. Having a joint at the top of the boot here in the shin is supposed to allow the leg to bend back farther, to tuck into the pants and to bend back farther. They did it backwards. What did they do this for? Why does it go like that? Why does it have a hinge there? Why does it have a hinge in the front that lets it go forward? And then we just get a big cutout chunk in his leg and his shin's broken. When you bend it back, the baggy pants it keeps it from looking like the leg is broken. Why would you bend it forward? What is the benefit of going forward? You can't do that with your leg. It doesn't make any sense. They didn't do it. They did the thing, but they did it wrong. It doesn't go back. What? What the heck? So that's just nuts. That's weird. This figure with all of its new fancy articulation and stuff, the only thing that actually works out to be new on this figure, really, is the shoulder section, which is nice, and I guess technically the waist. The hips we've already seen before, the crotch we've already seen before. This is new, but this is terrible. So it's like, I don't know what they were actually doing. Did they just overthink it? Did they do the thing where they over-engineer everything? I don't get it. But his articulation is not special. It's fine, and a lot of it doesn't work well. This is just nuts to me that they made a whole new Goku, and they did weird things that they shouldn't have done. His articulation is going to get a 7, and that's generous. The torso is just ridiculous. I don't want that. I don't want giant gaps for no reason. I don't want my belt connected to an extra piece of shirt that doesn't actually cover anything, and it keeps the belt from doing what it's supposed to do. I don't want giant gaps in my figure every time I try to pose it. I don't want the orange to not match. I don't want the shin to be broken for no reason. I don't get what they're doing here. It's just not what it's supposed to be. And so instead of making this like the new great thing that we don't have to really replace in a long time, I'm looking forward to the 4.0 already. Or at least them refining this. The ball hinge neck sucks. The shins are broken. It's just not anything special overall. There are good things about it, don't get me wrong. I already told you it's probably my favorite looking Goku figure. But the loose hips, the loose toe joints, these are basically floppy. He can't stand well because of them. Yeah, his articulation gets a 7. That's just not good enough. And now it's time for the final verdict. It's a good thing it's a cheaper figure, and I'm sure people are just thrilled with it, and I'm going to get all kinds of hate, but tell me I'm wrong about any of the things I showed you. It's so frustrating that they did weird stuff. They did weird stuff for no reason. Man. Yeah, I'm going to give it an overall rating of 7. It's not a special release at all, other than that it's new. The broken shins and feet alone are enough to kill it for me. The torso's jacked up. Seeing the guts of the insides through here because there's no meat there. Yeah. It's a bummer. I'm very bummed. I liked it more before I started the review, honestly. Yeah, that's a shame. I'm going to get a bunch of hate for this. I don't care. I have to be honest. That's the way it goes. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But that's it for me. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day, and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.